So one of the biggest features that I wish my car had is Apple CarPlay. And while Subaru did add this feature in the 2019 and up WRXs and STIs, my 2018 doesn't have it. And while this wasn't a deal breaker for me, it sure would add a whole lot more convenience. And while I have been doing some research on these aftermarket head units that have this feature, a few main things have been holding me back. One, a lot of these aftermarket head units utilize your standard double DIN setup, which there's nothing wrong with, but since they're universal, they don't exactly always fit in seamlessly with your specific car. And number two, I do prefer to have physical volume knobs to control the music, but probably the most important one, number three, a lot of these head units aren't compatible with Harman Kardon speakers, which my car has. But while doing my research, this company called AU Car has reached out to me to review their new head unit made specifically to fit my WRX, has physical volume knobs, and is compatible with my Harman Kardon speakers. So if you're also in the same boat as me looking for a new aftermarket head unit, maybe I can introduce you to a new option. First thing we're gonna The head unit is now free and we just need to unplug the connectors from the back. With the OEM head unit out, we can now start preparing our new one. Inside the box, we have our instructions, along with some SIM cards and warranty information, and of course, the head unit itself. Lastly, we have all the wire harnesses. Although the amount of cables seem overwhelming, you really only need these three sets of harnesses. First, the main one, which has several harnesses zip tied together. I recommend leaving it like this, so it'll be less confusing when connecting. Then we need this harness with the audio cables. And lastly, this small harness with the yellow cable that'll allow the backup camera to work. Let's grab our audio harness and plug it into the top middle socket. Make sure it's plugged all the way in. Then grab the harness for the backup camera and plug it into the bottom left socket. We'll want to plug the yellow connector on this harness into the green one of the audio harness. Now we can grab our main harness and find the connector that fits the socket on the far left. Find this cable for the radio on the main harness and connect it to the socket on the far right. Plug these two red connectors together, then the two white connectors. The yellow ones won't be used, so we can just leave them unplugged. The next step is only required if you have the Harman Kardon speakers like me. In order for the speakers to work, we'll need to remove the Telematics controller from the OEM head unit so we can reinstall it with the new unit. Unscrew the 4 Phillips screws holding it into place. And slide it out.